What's up, guys? Welcome back, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking the time to spend a little time with me. As you can see, I'm showing you guys the aerial view. And what we're going to talk about here, guys, is one of my favorite topics, player movement. One of my biggest components, one of the biggest areas in the game that I would like to see get more attention. And guys, you know, with having the access that I have, guys, I've been able to learn a lot, you know, being around the developers and, you know, engineers and things like that. And just learning how gaming works, you know, how things work. Things are not a flick of the switch, or, you know, things can't just happen just because you say you want them to happen. There's a lot of things that are involved. But the approach that I take, guys, and you guys know this, but I always want to keep everybody informed of the things that I do. You know, I try to help the Madden team progress on things that they currently have in the game, or systems that they currently have in place, as well as giving them ideas on things that need to be added. Now, for instance, with player movement, there's some things right here in the game that you can see that are there. They may not quite, be where we want it to be, but look at this play here. Look at how I was able to turn up the field, and look at the animation by Kobe Hamilton. You know, how he keeps himself in bounds. Even the animation in terms of, you know, how he tucks the ball, and, you know, he doesn't just tuck it right in. He kind of holds it in front of him with the two hands. That's a real decent animation right there, in my opinion. Now, of course, you know, guys, I'm one of the biggest critics in terms of animation, and you're seeing it here frame for frame. It's not skipping. I'm doing that on purpose so you can see every movement. But you have to acknowledge there's some signs of life here. You know, there's some good animation quality right there. Good player movement for the most part. I just want to see these guys continue to progress on the things that they have, as well as innovate. You know, FIFA comes to mind. FIFA has outstanding player movement. But like I said, man, if you take time and look at Madden for what it is, you know, you have to acknowledge the good and the bad. And if you really dissect the game like I do, there are some good things going on in this game. It just needs polish. It needs improvement. It needs to be expanded upon. And like I said, you're looking at this animation. You know, of course, we want to see guys connected to the field more to reduce or eliminate sliding and warping. But this is a good step right here. It shows you that there's instances in the game that it has some pretty solid player movement. So now we just got to get it to be all the time. At all times, we need to see these type of things. There's a lot, guys, left to do, man. But I definitely want to take time to show some of the things that are in game that I feel like should be able to get some improvement. Hopefully, we see it very, very soon. All right, guys, hit that like button. Peace.